Good morning, everyone. My name is Steve Barron, Director of Fiscal Affairs here for the county, and I'm just going to kick this off. To start, though, I would like to acknowledge my team who helped put the 2024 budget together for the McClure administration. Oftentimes, public policy and numbers are difficult to make match, and my team does it flawlessly. Brandon Dunstane is here, the budget director. Karen Lambert, who is one of our accountants. Bryce Myers, who is also one of our accountants. And Anthony Morris, who was recently promoted to revenue manager, also played a great part in this budget. And Nick Devaney, who could not be here with us today. So if you could give them a round of applause. So this is the McClure administration's sixth proposed budget. Since his arrival here, the County Executive McClure has had three guiding principles for me as Director of Fiscal Affairs. First, do not raise real estate property taxes. We have not, and in fact, we cut taxes in 2022. Second, fulfill the will of the people as expressed in the open space referendum of 2002. To fully fund preservation of farmland, open space, and environmentally sensitive land. We are on pace to have invested $25 million by the end of the executive's second term. It is something that he and I are both very proud of. Third and finally, Mr. McClure insisted that Graysdale remain county-owned and county-operated. This final edict has been the most difficult as we are living through the worst global pandemic in 100 years, and that pandemic hit long-term care facilities the hardest. But Graysdale remains strong. Those were the major fiscal policies promised by Mr. McClure and made to the people of Northampton County, and he kept those promises. However, as Director of Fiscal Affairs, it is also my obligation to make certain that while we are achieving the fiscal policy goals as laid out by the County Executive, we are also keeping Northampton County in good financial condition. We have been given unqualified opinions on all our external audits, the top rating that we can achieve. We continue to meet all the GFOA standards to keep the county financially sound, stable, and ready to provide all promised services that the citizens of the county have come to expect from Northampton County under the McClure administration. Now for the presentation of the 2024 budget message, I introduce to you the County Executive Lamont G. McClure.
Thank you, Steve. The 2024 Northampton County proposed budget addresses the needs of Northampton County residents. In my budgets as county executive, we have invested over $18 million in open spaces, farmland preservation, and parks. We continue that commitment with another $3 million investment in this budget. My administration's 2024 proposed budget will once again not raise taxes. The tax rate will remain 10.8 mils for 2024. This proposed budget is also balanced as required by the Home Rule Charter. As we've noted, funding for open space and farmland preservation has been a hallmark of this administration. In 2002, the taxpayers of Northampton County overwhelmingly voted to dedicate funds to preserve farms, create parks, and protect environmentally sensitive land. This is clearly the most effective tool to fight warehouse proliferation. The 2024 budget includes $3 million to protect green space and to slow warehouse growth. This commitment is in line with the desires of the residents of the county as we look to limit new development not give it tax breaks over these important and often irreplaceable landscapes. Unfortunately, the county is experiencing increases to healthcare costs. Due to the post-pandemic spike in healthcare costs, we have seen an increase in the healthcare cost for our employees. This proposed budget funds the actuarial determined amount for healthcare, which decreases the year-end fund balance. My administration provided alternatives for lowering healthcare costs. And while it has been our goal to lower the fund balance so that we don't overtax our citizens, we wanted to cut taxes for all county taxpayers, as we did in 2022, but unfortunately, we could not. County Council did not create the Employee Health Center, which would have saved significantly on healthcare costs. Council's actions have forced changes to the employees' out-of-pocket expenses to the healthcare plan, which would not have been necessary had they followed the administration to move forward with the Employee Health Center. The 2024 budget could have shown a larger fund balance without increased costs to the employees, as well as additional programs for the citizens of the county. Had council voted to create the center. As Mr. Barron noted, Graysdale is a moral obligation, and boy, have we learned the definition of moral obligation. Under my administration, Graysdale has not required a county contribution from the general fund to balance its budget. This remains the case for 2024. Managing Graysdale's funds and reinvestment help to increase the home's rating. The need for a home that takes people regardless of income or status in life remains not only a local, but a nationwide imperative. My administration's proposed budget renews its commitment to Graysdale to remain county-owned and county-operated without contribution from the Northampton County General Fund. My administration has budgeted and followed all of the resolutions passed by council when it comes to spending the federal American Rescue Plan funds. The administration continues to follow the plan and is taking all necessary steps to report those funds so that Northampton County continues to thrive and provide all the services the citizens of Northampton County have come to expect from their county government. 2024 and beyond. Like all governments, Northampton County faces aging buildings and infrastructure. While the county looks to leverage federal funds to keep up with those needs, the 2024 proposed budget addresses the needs at a time when the buildings and the staff of the county need additional help with upgrades. Major repairs to the parking deck at the courthouse will continue to be a priority, along with elevator technology upgrades to the over 150-year-old courthouse. The administration is also proposing to invest $1 million in park upgrades and $950,000 in jail renovations over the next several years. As a further commitment to Graysdale and the need for the home services, the administration is also planning for a $2.1 million capital investment in the nursing home through 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, many years ago, when I first ran for county executive, I made 3 promises. I wasn't going to raise your property taxes. Through 6 budgets, we have not, and we cut them in 2022. I promised that we would continue to aggressively preserve open and green spaces and environmentally sensitive land. We have done that. And finally, despite all the attacks through the years on Graysdale, including the struggle through a global pandemic, Graysdale remains county-owned, and as long as I am county executive, will be county-owned and county-operated. Thank you very much. Any questions? Steve, you want to come up? Go ahead.
With inflation, how do you manage to keep budgets diminished?
Well, Jeff, that's a great question. And one of the reasons is because we manage the government so tightly. So if you look at the budget, we've reduced it by about 3.2% when you consider general